Welcome to Business Doctor. Today we are going to discuss about an important topic, which is mind retention or mental retention. There is a challenge for every student or every professional, at least in the early days, to remember, recollect, and apply the right word or the right lexicon so that they give a proper meaning when they talk to or when they write to or when they do their work. So these words have got a meaning by itself, and there are a lot of words, and these words need to be applied at the right place at the right time. This is possible only when you understand, comprehend the meaning of that word, how to pronounce that word, and how to apply that word. There are possibilities, and it's almost certain that the early stage programmers or early stage professionals, they have a problem of comprehending these words. So what happens is that they use the wrong words, or they use the word but with a different spelling. So for the reader, they may not understand correctly, or they may interpret it in a way they understand correctly, so which gives a different meaning. For example, I had an opportunity to make this mistake when I was young and fresh into my professional. I wrote a mail in those days, no, in a paper, that the sentence goes like this: I got stuck. Instead of stuck, I used the word struck. So next day, the manager asked me, "Okay, who hit you?" I said, "No one." "But you said in the message that somebody hit you. You got struck with, that means no, somebody must have hit you with something." Then I realized that the meaning of the word and what mistake I did in that day. Then after that, I try to consciously avoid such a mistake, and I'm still learning that. So when you want to say the word or the sentence correctly without any mistake, first do it, practice it to say that this is what it is. This is the word, start to end without any mistake. Then say it faster, then repeat it faster so that there is no wavering or tapering of that. Maybe someone may feel that as part of their communication, they may say that, for example, how are you, or I'm fine. So they start like, how is on a top tone and it tapers down. How are you? So gradually it tapers down. So that means, no, you are not confident about the word or the sentence, or you are not sure of the meaning of it, or forget about the communication, shyness, etc. That we will keep it aside for this discussion. So when you are going to be saying something, you need to be confident enough to say that word correctly, faster, and repeated. Once you do that, what happens is that automatically that word gets into your neurons of the brain, and the brain knows when to recollect or how to recollect and use it at an appropriate time. That mind knows. Imagine those days where there was no computers, there was no paper, there was no pen, and there were no scripts also. The languages were not in place in the way it is today. The example is astronomy. There are a lot of people who just marked it, maybe on caves, maybe on some leaves or on sand, daily, about the star positions, the moon position, the earth positions, somehow maybe sun positions, where it stars, where it sunsets. All that they were able to do it in a sheet of paper kind of thing, and then over a period of time, day by day, month by month, year by year, they got to know that how these stars move across over a period of time. which has become the basis of astronomy. Obviously, this means that people are able to record something in a manner they understand, comprehend, recollect, and apply it at an appropriate time and use. Generally, throughout the world, except for some countries, most of the countries use fourth quadrant technique, which means that all the reading, all the writing starts from top left and it goes to the bottom right, except for some countries where it is on the third quadrant. So if you can remember the origin of these words or symbols or notations or formula or any of those things, then what happens is that you can recollect from the origin, which is 00, which is top left, and read line by line. That's how the computer also does. And it goes up to the right bottom. So you can use it as a positional thing, or you can understand if you are working on a screen. Most of the users or most of the professionals, most of the students today know how to use a mobile phone or how to use a computer. So it's all in the fourth quadrant and it starts from top left to bottom right. So you should know that how to read and how to remember. And today the technique has gone so deep that it is an immersive design, it's as an intuitive design. That means nothing is visible until you go. So when you go there, obviously there will be some pop-ups that will coming up and you have to apply appropriately the choice and then carry on with your thing, which means that you should know what you want to do and you should know how to navigate. The navigation is possible only when something gets into your mind correctly and you are able to recall it. It's like a dance. If you remember, if you have seen any dance programs, how the dancer would do is that the dancer has to move her or his body, his legs, his hands. Then there is a head movement, and besides that, there is an expression, and that expression has to be in line with the rhythm of the song, and the facial expression has to be given for good, bad, and or different emotions. And all these things have to happen in a consistent way along with that song, which means that the person, the dance user, has to remember, recollect, and apply it in a manner which is wholly agile, okay, which is possible only when everything gets into your mind, deep of your mind to your neurons, so that the neurons recollect, like a swimming or a cycling. You take another example where there are illiterates in the country who can't read text or who can't read numbers. They can't write as well. But when the phone rings or when the message comes, they know that what is this message and from whom it has come. How they are able to do that? That is perfectly possible because of some kind of pattern logic that they are able to do the pattern, and that pattern they know somehow that this is the caller and this is the message. The other one is the kind of rangolis people do at home or in events where it's as a reflection of or repetition of a particular pattern. That pattern, if you know how to do that, you can reproduce that pattern in a way you want it to make a meaningful picture out of that. So that means your brain should know that this is the pattern, this is how it has to be recollected and applied. So if you look at such things in practice, whether you're a student or you're a professional, you will be encountering a lot of such lexicons, lot of such words, and you may have to use it, you may have to create it, you have to put it in the appropriate place, and it might be a software variable or it could be a computing terminology or it could be an accounting terminology. For example, if you say medicine, the medicinal words resemble more or less, certain words are same, but the medicines are different. If the medicines are different, you can't take it. You can't say that no, the medicine rhymes like this. No, it has to be exactly correct. What the doctor prescribes and what you are going to take have to exactly match the spelling. And everyone can't even understand the spelling or the meaning of it. So, how does the pharmacist give you that medicine? So, so there is some way by which there are some tactics by which the pharmacists know how to take that medicine out, compare these two, and deliver it to the customer. So how this is all possible? So it is a practice of words, practice of phrases to do it correctly, repeatedly, and faster. So recollect these words in a page or in a screen or maybe in a mobile screen, and then practice it. Maybe you can practice it as an individual or as a team. We discussed about Pachakuja techniques, so you can try that, or it can be on a moving around where you can talk about 1 minute on that subject, or it can be the recall techniques like the participation in a quiz program where it's not only it enhances your general knowledge, it also gives you the memory, the required memory, the kind of orientation of your mind or your brain to uh, receive that question and map that question with an answer which you feel is right, and then give an answer. So you may fail in that quiz, that's okay, but you are able to recollect, remember, recollect, and display or or recite when there is a need and in appropriate place. If it is appropriate, for example, in a quiz you will score. But otherwise, at least you have tried that. There are a lot of word games. There are a lot of software-based games, non-software-based games. So effectively, all these things will improve your retention quotient. Once you are able to retain in your memory, you don't need drugs for that. You just need to practice and keep all these things into nasal ganglia, which we will discuss about in the coming session on the power of habits. But for now, it is a retention quotient which you have to keep it in your memory. So once you do that, what happens is that you are able to pronounce it, you are able to correctly say it, correctly use it, repeat it correctly, recall it correctly, and you have a lot of words at your disposal to use it, which will improve your memory, the retention quotient. Obviously, it means that you're you are showing yourself as a confident person, not just confident to yourself, to others who are in receipt of this communication. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Try to improve your retention techniques. See you in the next video. Thank you.